found something when it comes to how I'm going to be able to attack their pick and rolls and even certain ISO situations. I'll keep that in memory and my memory bank going into game 4, and hopefully it has a trickle effect into the first quarter of the next game. So, Stephen A., we're talking about the MVP. What do you expect from him tonight?
Oh, I expect him to explode, but I will admit to you, I don't like that explanation. The reason why I don't like that explanation, what the hell are you giving away details for? You're in a battle. Don't tell them what's coming their way. Be quiet and sit there and say, all right, I got it. We'll see game 4. That's what Magic would have done. That's what Bird would have done. That's what Jordan would have done. He'd nod his head. It's just like somebody coming at Jordan like, I figured it out. I think we're going to do this or that. And Jordan was like, what did they say? Oh, okay, we'll see. So when you sitting there and you dissecting it and explaining it away, it's unnecessary. It shows your inexperience, your amateurism there. Steph Curry is, let's be clear, and I don't know if anybody brought this up, and some people are going to look at it and they might take it the wrong way, it might sound a little bit funny, but I'm going to call it like it is, because that's what I do. Steph Curry is one of those guys that you can't help but respect. But you also look at him with disgust because he's a pretty boy.
Really?
Yes, he is. Now, you're more qualified to say that than me, obviously. But what I'm saying is that, Jamie Foxx in the commercial called him the baby face assassin. Okay. That's exactly what he is. You understand? His daughter's just as beautiful and adorable as ever. Adorable. The mama's fine.
Gorgeous.
You look at him Del Curry, his daddy's a handsome man. He's a handsome young man. This dude is a handsome dude.
His mother's beautiful.
That's what I was talking about. His mother.
Oh, I thought you were talking about his wife, though.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Her too, but I'm just saying, forgive me. The mama is who we get. We usually see the mama.
The wife is beautiful too.
No, that's right. Well, of course, but the mama is.
Okay.
The point that I'm trying to make. The point that I'm trying to make to you is that you look at him, and Skip, you can relate to what I'm about to say. And everybody in here, when you are on a basketball court, there is nothing worse than opponents that disgust opponents more than a pretty boy who can ball.
Yep.
That's Steph Curry. You look good, you can shoot, you're dropping 40 on people, you're doing all this stuff. And what you want to do is you want to knock him silly. You really, really do. And obviously, that's easier said than done. So when you sit up there and you're talking about, well, I did this wrong, and I just didn't need to do this right. Other guys are like, yeah, we'll see. Because they want to come at you. And he's got the kind of skill set that the only thing you can do to him is get physical with him. The handle is nasty. The jumper's big time. The game is sweet. It's to a point where sometimes it's like, look, when he coming through the screen, just make sure you hit him. Make sure he feels you. And all of a sudden he's like, ow, ow, ow. And that's the only way. Because if he gets going, there's really nothing you can do. Mm-hmm. And so it would behoove him to just not say anything. Be quiet and just go, all right, cool. We'll see. But don't be giving strategies. Well, pick and roll situations, I think we could do this better and do that better. No, don't say anything. Just go out there and do your thing. Tonight, I believe Steph Curry might drop 40.
Wow. Is that your prediction?
I think he's going to drop 40.
40?
40. Somewhere close, 35, 40.
They're yelling Delhi. So Delhi may stop that from happening, perhaps.
So, and you still think the Cavaliers could overcome 40 by Steph Curry?
Yeah, because I think LeBron's going to drop 40.
Oh, okay. Well, he's
averaging 40.
That's like saying the sun's going to come up tomorrow, right?
That's what he's doing.
He scores 40 every game against his team. I believe that tonight Steph Curry will play like the MVP of this league. And I did not have a big problem with what he said. He did not specify what the changes are that he found in the pick and roll or whatever. He just said, I found something. He's planting a little seed of doubt maybe in Delhi's mind, whoever's going to try to pick him up. But my point the other night, I didn't see any major strategic changes, anything dramatic in the fourth quarter. I saw Steph Curry, who just got sick and tired of playing the way he had been playing, hesitating on every other shot. I saw a kid, and he's still a kid, a baby-faced assassin, who started playing like an assassin finally. He started letting it fly. No doubt, I'm just going to shoot this like I mean that I'm going to shoot these shots. And again, I think he will pick up where he left off in the fourth quarter, because the baby-faced assassin just looked baby-faced for the first 3 games. That's all he did. He looked like a child among the men that Cleveland is putting on the floor.
First 2 games and 3 quarters.
Okay, that's fine. But in the fourth quarter, it was really too little too late, because they're down 20, and they cut it to 1, and then guess who turned it over 3 late times that took Golden State back out of the game? The MVP turned it over. He owes this basketball team this game this night.
Right.
And I'm looking for several things. I'm looking for 30. I'd be fine with 30. Again, I'm predicting that Golden State's going to even this series. But I want to see 10 assists from him. I want to see him get his running mate involved, because the Splash Brothers have been Crash Brothers. I want to see Clay get some touches. I want to see a little flow to the 2 of them. And I want to see Steph attack the basket occasionally, because Delly's just bodying him up at the 3-point line. You have to blow by occasionally and say, no, you're going to have to respect the fact I can get to the hoop, because we've seen him get to the hoop before.
Skip, Clay did drop 34 in game 2.
Okay, that was game 2.
I know that. I'm just saying, but they haven't been Crash Brothers per se. I mean, Steph has had his issues. I think Clay has played within himself, shooting about 45% from the field, averaging about 23.
Okay, but both of them are shooting 32% from the 3-point line. That's not good enough, because that's not who they are.
That's not who they are. But the flip side to it is that in order for an assist to be recorded, that means others have to make shots. It's not like Harrison Barnes and Andre Iguodala and Draymond Green haven't touched the basketball. They've got the basketball. They've got open shots. I can't get an assist if I give you the ball and you open and you miss. And they're not going to get an assist. So it's like, I don't blame Steph Curry for the assist in that regard when I'm seeing other guys missing shots. Now, if they're not getting shots because you're not giving them the ball, that would be different.
But guess what? I cannot wait until the opening moments of tonight's game. This is going to be really great to watch, because Steph, as the reigning MVP, is going to have to set the tone. If he drops a couple early shots, be it on drives or on threes or just mid-range jump shots, all of a sudden you set a tone for your running mates that our guy's back. He's into it. And all of a sudden, maybe you feel a little more comfortable when he does get you the basketball.
Very good point. But here's the thing. Steph Curry has to remember that he doesn't have to be open to shoot. Steph Curry has taken and made contested shots.
I thought he did in the fourth quarter the other night.
Throughout his young career.
Yeah.
And I think initially in the last game, you know, he hit a shot, missed 6 of his first 7 shots, but he was looking to be open when he shot. The difference between him in the first quarter and the fourth quarter, he didn't care who was on him. He didn't care how tight they were on him. His attitude is, all I need is to create enough space to get my shot off, and the ball is going up. That is how Steph Curry plays. And he has to get back to playing that way. And I believe he will start out tonight very, very aggressively. He will need to in order for them to win this game.
I agree.
Will we see the babyface assassin tonight? The fellas agree that we will. When we come back, it's Carrie's court, home court. Opportunity to talk to Skip and Stephen A. We'll be back in just a few moments. First take on the road for the finals is from Pennsylvania. She drove here, hour and a half away, she said. She got here at 3:30 in the morning. These fans are amazing. And she has a question for you, Stephen A. Smith.
My question is, due to LeBron's finals performance this far, do you think that he is starting to get that killer instinct that Kobe and Jordan have?
No.
That's fair.
I appreciate the question, and I'm not taking anything away from LeBron James. But MJ and Kobe don't walk into a final saying, well, I hope we do this. And, you know, whether we win or lose, we're going to give it our best. They never engaged in that kind of verbiage. They entered the final with one mission and one mission in mind, to win. Losing wasn't something that was comprehensible to them. Kobe had to ultimately deal with that twice. 5 times he did not. He won. But that kind of language, lingo, verbiage, that's not in their DNA. LeBron is going to go all out. He's never going to cheat you with a lack of effort or anything like that. He's going to give it all he's got. But in the back of his mind, there is something about him that comes across as being prepared to lose. MJ and Kobe never even contemplated until they absolutely positively had to.
Yep. I thank you for that answer because it's an honest, painfully honest answer. But this question's not fair to LeBron James. He does so much great other than this. This is not his strength.
Totally agree.
The killer instinct. Michael Jordan and Kobe, I'm going to use your favorite expression.
Assassins.
And snatch your heart out of your chest. That's what both of them intend to do to you when it's time to do it in a fourth quarter. Now, LeBron came up big the other night down the stretch of Game 3. I was proud of him. He hit that big three, and then he made 4 straight clutch big free throws. I thought he played a great Game 7 2 years ago. That's the single best finals game I've ever seen him play after my Spurs got their hearts snatched out of their own chest the game before.
You keep mentioning the free throws with LeBron the other day. One other thing I think is important to remember, because I was standing there when Timothy Mozgov did some mistake and LeBron screamed at him, "Get me the damn ball." It wasn't just that he hit the free throws. He was begging for the ball so he could get fouled, so he could go to the free throw line. That is something that's new, because LeBron, even though sometimes he'd make it, sometimes he'd miss it, etc., etc., LeBron wasn't always anxious to get to the free throw line. He has no fear of that now.
And then I loved it against Chicago. You remember the turnaround game when he got mad in the huddle because Blatt calls the play for somebody other than LeBron, and he's like, "No, I'm going to take the ball in bounds." And he went up at the clock, obviously it was down to 0, and shot it like he meant it and made it from the corner.
Blatt called for him to inbounds the basketball on the final play.
Well,
that's the kind of stuff that would have got him fired had they lost the series.
I hear you.
That's just ridiculous.
You're right.
That's just ridiculous.
Ladies and gentlemen, after the break, we're talking about LeBron. Big surprise. What will his stat line be for Game 4? First Take is on the road for the finals. I hope you're enjoying it. We'll be right back in just a few moments. You need to show your jersey, your LeBron